So today I want to talk about a serious subject, and it's a question that I find no answer to, and that is why are Christian churches so screwed up? I mean, they're especially screwed up. It's beyond what we see in other places in our society. Christian churches do some of the most horrendous things that we have ever seen. Right? We had the Catholic Church and their pedophilia, abuse of children, covering it up for decades upon decades. We have the Southern Baptist Convention, similar type thing, just covering up horrible abuse just for decades. Right now in the news we have IHOP, the International House of Prayer, a wonderful evangelical ministry, or so people thought. Christians sometimes can be the most gullible people. They believe things pretty easily. They don't seem to work with a very discerning mentality or critical thinking. They love just to believe things. And here we have in the International House of Prayer, Mike Bickle. The report comes out that since the 1970s, he's been abusing women. Since the 1970s. And all these years go by. Nobody wants to say anything. And that's the real horror of these Christian scandals. You see, people know what's going on behind closed doors. And they're in the church, but they decide that the church is more important than people. And what a horrible way to think. People should always be more important than an institution. But apparently not in Christianity. You see, Christians seem to think they have to do and make excuses for God and the church. Because if the church is doing something horrible, in their minds, nobody should know. Because the work of Christ will not go forth. Because certainly Christ has anointed these big ministries. He's given them blessing. So they must be from God, right? Wrong. All right, how many more churches do we have to see that abuse people systemically? They abuse their employees systemically. They abuse congregants systemically. Right? This must end in America. We give churches tax-free status. They're a sacred cow. Right? They don't get investigated like other businesses do. They are considered untouchable. And it takes brave people to come out, usually after a long, long time, to say and tell all about the abuses that they have gone through because of church leadership. We have mega churches after mega churches being exposed today. Look at Gateway. I mean, look at the horrible things that were done there. Look at IHOP with Mike Bickle. We see so many of these horrible, horrible things that churches do. And yet we see Christians run to their support. Oh, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Well, yeah, we are all human beings. And we all do make mistakes. But we don't abuse people for generations and cover it up and make millions and millions of dollars off gullible people. That's just horrifying. We have churches in this country, evangelical churches, that bring in millions and millions. I mean, Life Church. Life Church. The big evangelical church. Life Church brings in $500 million a year from donations. And you could bet behind the scenes, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. Where men, corrupted men, want to run an organization like a business, rake in millions and millions, even $500 million, put on a show. They're not transparent. You don't know these people. So would it be a surprise that something pretty insidious goes on behind the scenes? Of course not. These are corrupt men running these organizations. And they abuse women. We see it in the news all the time. All right, look at the scandals. Remember Eddie Long? Remember Jimmy Swaggart? Remember Jim Baker? Okay, these are powerful men making millions of dollars. And they're fooling you. So, my Christian friends, wake up, smell the coffee, right? You don't have to be so gullible and naive to believe these people are men of God, hearing from God that they could tell you something about your life. Stop it. Become an independent free thinker. Think for yourself and stop following people. Okay, you don't have to be a sheep just following along and covering up everything to try to make a ministry look good when it's horrible. Please, for the love of all things good, expose these mega churches. Let people know what is going on. Don't take decades to do it. Use your voice now, because this must stop in America. The abuse of people in America from churches, it must stop. It must stop.